The left wasn't going to let today's IG report go unanswered. So earlier today, New York Attorney General Barbara Underwood announced a new lawsuit against the Trump Foundation in New York. The suit seeks to dissolve the organization and ban Trump, as well as his 3 children, from serving on any nonprofit. Donald Trump Jr. is one of the people targeted by that lawsuit, and he joins us tonight. Donald Trump Jr., thanks a lot for joining us.
Good to be with you, Tucker. How are you?
So I'm doing great. So before I ask you about the suit against the nonprofit, let me get your take on the Inspector General report you've seen today.
Well, listen, it's pretty incredible. And obviously, I look at the Inspector General sort of as like HR at a major corporation, right? They're not really there to protect the individuals. They're there to protect the corporation. So as damning as it was, it probably doesn't go far enough as it relates to what was really going on. But I think real America, and what I've been saying for weeks, and last time I was on with you, real America sees what's going on here. They see that these phony players at the top of the FBI, not the rank and file, not the boots on the ground, the guys that are doing the real work, they said that these lawyers that never went through those things, that never started down at the bottom, these lawyers at the top were trying to influence an election and then undermine a presidency. I look at James Comey, it's like the liberal version of a sorority sister. Like, it's pretty ridiculous at this point. And when I see what's going on, I think I see what everyone else in America is seeing, and they should be disgusted.
If you were a right-of-center person, not you specifically, but any person, and you were caught up in an FBI investigation, wouldn't you want to know that the man identified as FBI lawyer number 2 wasn't on your investigation?
I would think that'd be kind of important.
So why don't we know his name, and why shouldn't we know his name?
You know, that's what I don't understand. I mean, all of this stuff going on, when you look at the stuff, and I've talked about it with you on your show, the stuff I've gone through over the last 18 months, whether it be about the Russia investigation, it's the biggest deal in the world. 25 hours of testimony in front of Congress. Hillary Clinton does 10 for Benghazi, and guess what? When she and the DNC team up to pay a foreign agent to work with Russia to compile a fake dossier and spend millions of dollars to do this thing, all of which has been debunked, none of it proven, chasing this thing for 2 years, nothing. Literally nothing happens. So I think it just shows the flagrant double standard. If you were even center, let alone right of center, you'd be getting the same thing. But if you're the uber left, you can get away with and do with whatever you want because there's no accountability there. And I think real people, again, are starting to see it, and they should be disgusted.
So the new Attorney General of New York today announced a suit against the Clinton Foundation for influence peddling. I'm sorry, I got that wrong. Against the Trump Foundation.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. And you're named in it.
Of course.
What's your reaction to that?
Listen, it's nonsense. In the end, you know, this is a charitable thing that was funded 50% by my father's own money to go into good deeds. It's something that Eric Schneiderman, before he went down a ball of flames as one of the leaders of the original Me Too movement, was working on for years. Where is he right now? He couldn't follow through. So they do this on the day that the IG report's going to be able to dominate the news cycle. And guess what? Most of the media will carry their baggage. They'll run with it as though it's this big deal of a thing. And it really isn't. What's really ridiculous is that this is money that went to good and charitable causes, half of which was funded by this, had a 0% expense ratio. Because it didn't have employees, wasn't sending people on G5s all over the world like the Clinton Foundation at 90%. I believe they had 90% expense ratio. You know, that's the standard and the double standard by which we have to live. And we'll keep doing that, and we'll keep fighting. We'll do what we'll have to do. But I think what my father's doing is he's doing an amazing job in Washington, D.C. He's showing this flagrant double standard. He's highlighting it to the people. They're seeing it. They're fed up. And they're watching him win despite all of the noise, despite all of the obstruction, despite all of the hysteria about anything that Donald Trump does. I mean, I'm watching the last week, coming back from Singapore, I'm watching all these people. There are people on the left, I almost feel as though they were hoping for a nuclear war because then they could say, see, Trump failed. It's really ridiculous, Tucker, and it's gone too far.
So just to go back to the suit, I just want to get my head around it. Is the implication or the claim that you got rich, because you're named in it, that you got rich by your affiliation with the nonprofit? Did you get rich?
I'm not even sure what the claim is. I think the claim is that there's somehow mismanagement, but at the end, there were no salaries paid. There is no expense travel. There are no, paid members of this thing. We're sitting there as essentially a board to see that the money that he's putting in there is going out to other charitable causes. That's all it is. This isn't the Clinton Foundation where they're taking money from foreign governments who are then giving it to their friends to fly around on G5s for projects that never materialize. it's really a lot different. You can see the list of all the charities that I went to. Half of them are veterans charities.
But just to be clear, you did not take a salary from this nonprofit.
I've never taken a cent from it, no. Neither did my brother, neither did my sister, neither did my father.
Huh. So I'm even more confused.
Yeah, as am I, but
Trump.
we're used to it by now.
Good luck with that.
Yeah,
Thank you
it'll
for
be
joining us
fun.
today. I appreciate it.
It's my pleasure, Tucker. Thank you very much, man.